All right, we back. Roy, you got it.
What's the most difficult thing you come across teaching other students?
There's this thing that where I don't like to talk about that much because everybody has different like views on it, and I respect their views, but when it comes to like religion, that's kind of like for me to talk about in any platform, should I say, because everybody has different views on it. To talk about religion is kind of like a little difficult for me to talk on a platform. But I respect, like I said, I respect every religion. I respect everybody's belief. Right now, I'm nonpartisan, so especially the de jure, like we're supposed to be a nonpartisan group, and everybody has their own background and religious beliefs and stuff like that. But yeah, that to answer your question is religion. I think that's the most difficult topic to talk about. Just being honest.
Yeah, people say like you're supposed to stay away from, like politics or religion, like a two.
Yeah, they go hand in hand. Both of them go hand in hand together.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you say when you have like an older student that they're a little bit more like stuck in their ways versus like dealing with a younger student?
I really never had an issue with that. Like, I'll give you an example. When I was in my 20s, I always used to listen to all these teachers and schools of thoughts, and everybody was like way older than me. So I never had any type of difficulty with learning from an elder, or even from someone who is younger than me. To me, it really doesn't matter. I never really had an issue with that. Both elders and younger students have good points of view.
All right, Squeaky, what's the next segment?
You said we about to get into another segment?
Yeah, him teaching his lesson.
Yeah. So
should I ask one question before we do that? Because I know the segment is going to take everything over after.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. So you consider yourself a Moor, right?
I consider myself first and foremost a human, and my political status is a Moorish American. Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm not good. I'm not with the technical thing like too much or anything like that. It's not like one of those type of trick questions and like that. I just want to know, like, I just want you to let the people know, what made you feel like spiritually aligned with, deciding to accept that for you, like as being a Moor.
Well, like I stated earlier, during my younger days, like in my late teens, early 20s, I used to be in different schools of thoughts. And my father was also, he was like this big community activist out there. And he was an historian. He was, he dealt with a little bit of politics on the side, but he was always, dealing with the people. And I think that was, a beautiful thing to do, from his side, growing up, because I grew up with him, and I've always loved like history. I've always loved science. I've always questioned things, why is these things like that, why is this culture like this and this other culture like this? So I was always not only deep into my culture, which I've always been deep into my culture since day one, but I also wanted to know the roots, like really the deep secrets of it, should I say. But to me, it's not really a secret because it's out there, and a lot of the stuff that the more science was teaching, I definitely got like really like inspired, especially when you claim your indigenous status, and that was one of the main reasons why I actually, changed my political status, as an Moorish-American national, under the Arawak Taino lineage tribe, um, that was one of the reasons, because I wanted to claim my indigenous status and take myself out of being a U.S. citizen, you know, um, escaping the matrix, like they say, just pulling yourself out the waters, and into the land, you know, and I did it successfully, in the last 3 years. I did it really successfully, I don't really talk too much of my political status and being an American state national, and claiming my Moorish heritage. And there's different reasons why I don't talk about it much, but I do, sometimes put it out there, and people ask me these questions, and I don't, I don't hesitate to answer any of these questions. To me, it's not a secret or anything like that. But a lot of it, is dealing with science, mathematics, and history, world history. And that's what inspired me the most. So yeah, here I am now, just educating people on, like I said, your unalienable rights, as we the people here in the land.
Yeah, yeah, that's honestly a better answer I thought than I would get.
Yeah, I think that answered your
Because that's
question, because you was kind of gearing to more like how it does it resonate with him being a Moor, and that really answered it.
yeah, that answered it to the core, like because that's exactly what I
Thank
was
you.
trying to go for. I'm kind of in a space right now, like one of the things that we do is we make sure that the division thing gets addressed constantly. I
Right.
mean, we could get into details and talk to you further about how much like we
Yeah,
like
definitely.
the
I mean, like I
doctrine.
say, the main reason that I changed my status was because I wanted to claim my indigenous status. I wanted to claim it, and I wanted to pull myself out of the waters of being a U.S. citizen and to become an American state national. Under um, Title 18 USC 1102 A1. So definitely, um,
He gonna get into that. He gonna
off,
get into all
off,
that.
off, off the podcast, you guys could, later on DM me, call me, and I'd be more likely to, like, answer any more questions on that
Oh
topic.
no, we don't
Yeah.
have any more questions about that right now. That's basically just for.
Yeah.
I like how you tied it and kept it along with the kept it in line, because I didn't want to
Right.
necessarily go far out of line like that. But it is important to see why you got inspired and what's the coordination, because there's a coordination with you and what you would call your indigenous nature, and why you're doing certain things you're doing. It's playing a role in like how you're getting activated. So I'm getting to the core of it, but nonetheless, we don't need to like get into the deep side of that, like cultural thing. We're not trying to go there right now.
Right. It's definitely
Yeah,
breaking generational curses. So
absolutely.
let's get into that lesson, because we ready to learn.
Yeah, we
Okay,
all.
so you want me to share my screen,
Yeah, I made you the
um
host.
okay, so let's get into it. I want to show you guys something here to start off with.
I want to thank the team. Shout outs to the team. Thank you, Roy and Design, for holding it down. And shout out to the sponsors again. We're about to get into a lesson.
Yeah, peace, everybody in the room. We appreciate y'all.
Everybody on the check-in, everybody listening, thank you. Listen to it as many times as you need, because this is very, very important, vital information.
You guys see
Oh
it?
yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
yeah,
So
yes.
for everybody that that wants to know what is de facto, so I'm gonna start off like this. De facto, in the Cornell Law School, this is their definition. De facto action is an action taken without strict legal authority. All right. Keyword nugget right there. Legal, strict legal authority to do so, but recognized as legally valid nonetheless. The action is considered something that acquires validity based on the fact of its existence and tradition. So, in other words, de facto is an action taken without strict legal authority. So the key word here to look is strict legal authority. All right. De facto means legal. Anything that is legal is de facto. Now, with that being said, let's look at de jure and let's compare both of them. Okay. So we now know that de facto has to do with legal authority. All right. Now let's look at de jure. Is that a dog over there? I'm sorry, guys. There's a dog crying over here. All right. Where is it? Okay. Let's look at de jure. Everybody sees that? Give me a thumbs up if everybody sees it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Squeaky, Tadaris, you can see it?
Yep, I gave a thumbs up.
Okay. So de jure, here we go. De jure. All right.
That's us.
That's us. De jure is the Latin expression for by law. Key nugget. By law. Okay. Or by right. And is used to describe a practice that exists by right or according to law. In contemporary use, the phrase almost always means as a matter of law. Now, de jure is often contrasted with de facto. Now, with that being said, when I pulled up de facto, you didn't see that it stated anything there about law. But when you pull up de jure, it talks about law, by law. That's what the de jure is. It's lawful, right? Righteousness, right?
Wow.
It's the real thing, the real deal. The de facto is just anything that's legal is de facto. If you sign a legal document, all right, it says legal, right? They state that says legal, that means it's de facto. All right. Is there de jure documents out there? Absolutely. When you join the New York de jure assembly, you're getting a lawful document. You're getting a de jure document. All right. We don't have to get it notarized because a public notary is nothing but a legal secretary of the state of the de facto system. All right. When we do our de jure documents, right, we do it in a de facto way. We don't have to go to no public notary. Remember, public and private, two different things. All right. The de jure assembly is a private assembly. It's not an organization. It's not a 501c1a. It's none of that stuff. All right. It's not under any type of legal authority of the de facto system. It's an assembly of the people. It's a lawful assembly of the people. In other words, it's the real deal. All right. You're getting the real deal here. You're not getting a de facto system where they make up all these unlawful laws. You know, a lot of it is unlawful. If you really think about it, a lot of it is, you know, stuff that they made up for profit. You know, citations and all that, fees that the de facto government system charges everybody is nothing but taxes. That's all it is. It's taxes. They charging you tax. You know, that's what it is. They're punishing you on their own authority, which 90% of them don't even have a delegation of authority. So you could challenge them on that. Okay. So I just want to elaborate on the difference between de jure and de facto. Now, I'm going to pull up something here real quick for you guys to see. Forms of
And
government.
that's crazy because it goes against the 14th Amendment and all the amendments that were quote unquote made to keep us equal and
yes,
free.
exactly.
You see how that works? So like a loophole.
The 14th Amendment, you got to watch out with that 14th Amendment, because let me tell you, the 14th Amendment will take you back into their waters. That'll take you back into their jurisdiction. That 14th Amendment, there's a big controversy with that 14th Amendment, and I I tell everybody, do not put anything that's dealing with the 14th Amendment on those documents, because it will pull you back into their jurisdiction. All right. And thank you for bringing that squeaky up. That was really good. Forms of government. So there are 5 basic forms of government out there, right? A monarch. I'm pretty sure you guys heard of a monarchy, which is ruled by one person. An oligarchy, ruled by a few people. Democracy, ruled by the majority of the people. Republic, ruled by a charter or constitution. That's where we want to fall into the republic, ruled by a charter or constitution. Okay. And last but not least, anarchy, which is no government. I'm pretty sure you guys heard of that word before. Oh, I'm an anarchist. I'm stateless. I'm an outlaw. I don't listen to none of these, statute codes and regulations. Yeah, you're an anarchist, but are you still a U.S. citizen? Oh yeah, I'm still a U.S. citizen. Okay, well, guess what? You're still rolling in their waters. Okay, all right. So, when people tell me, "Oh, I'm an anarchist," yeah, I believe what you say. There shouldn't be all this, unlawful laws out there and this and that. Yeah, that's true. They shouldn't. But the question is, what is your political status? Are you still a U.S. citizen, or are you going to be free and pull yourself out that matrix, out of the waters of their jurisdiction? So that's what anarchy is, which is no government at all. All right. I believe that we should be our own government. We should walk this path as our own government. All right. We are the living government. We are sovereign beings in this world. Okay. All right. We have unalienable rights, that they can't take that away from us. So that's why I always state to everybody, we must know these things, because they will always try to challenge you. And they challenge me all the time too. I'm always getting challenged by the de facto. But I know what to say. I put them in bar. Hey, listen, what are the 3 jurisdictions of law? And most of these lawyers, they don't even know. They don't know the 3 jurisdictions of law. Of course they don't, because they don't study that in their law school, their de facto law school. That's what I call it, the de facto law school that they go to. They don't study none of this stuff. So this stuff is like, you got to learn on your own. You got to know somebody who knows about this stuff. But anyways, moving on, I'm going to show you the next one. This is going to even get better right here real quick. Teneri, you had a question? You have your hand up?
Hey, no, yeah, I just really wanted, because with the democracy portion, it highlights, the majority of people ruled by the majority. So that it kind of sounds like as if it, that would be like, 95%, but all it takes is 51% to be in agreement of XYZ, and then 49% of people are stuck having to be subjected to that way. So I just want, like, I
Exactly.
don't know, I would just like more specify
Exactly.
on that.
Thank you for elaborating on that. Thank you. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. So as we know, the United States, right, is a corporation. It states it right here. You guys can see this? It states the United States means a federal corporation. It states it right there. All right. We all know that there's two forms of there's like I said, the de facto and the de jure. So the de facto is the United States corporation. All right, all in upper caps, all in caps. And then the de jure is the United States of America Republic. That's the de jure name of the land. The United States of America Republic. That's the de jure side. All right, that's the lawful name of the land. All right. So anytime you see United States in all caps, that's the de facto system at its best. Okay. Just want to put that out there for you guys. Okay. So let me show you guys this. And we went over this in the de jure, but I'm gonna show it to anybody who didn't see this. Should I hire an attorney? You guys see this here?
Yeah, I see.
we see it.
You guys see it? Okay. Just want to make sure. So it says here, should I hire an attorney? Okay. So this is a great question, right? Because a lot of people are like, well, if I have a case, should I really hire an attorney? Okay. Well, let's see what they say. Let's see what they write on what's the relationship between an attorney and a client. So in here, it states, if you read number 1, to what or whom is an attorney's first duty? We consult the latest Corpus Juris Secundum, which is a legal encyclopedia that they made, right? Volume 7, Section 4, which I actually have this book at home. You can actually purchase this book. It costs maybe like about 15 notes, 15, 20 notes on eBay or something. So this is what it says in the Corpus Juris Secundum Legal Encyclopedia, right? It says attorney and client. His first duty is to the courts and the public. Keyword, first duty is to the courts and the public, not to the clients, okay? And whenever the duties to his client conflict with those he owes as an officer of the court, because that's what they are. They're officers of the court. In their administration of justice, the former must yield to the latter. Interesting, right? So it tells you there that their first duty is to the courts, not to the client. If you hire an attorney, his first duty is to the court, not to you. You could tell him everything you want. His first duty is still going to be to the courts, okay, and then to the public, and then to you. But this is stuff that they don't want to tell you, and it's funny because they wrote this stuff. It has it in their books. They wrote it. It's just people, they don't know anything about this stuff, and I didn't know anything about it. And when I first heard about this, I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, really, all this time you think that really these attorneys, like, you're paying them and they're there for you, they represent you all the way? No, their first duty is to the courts. They're court officers, okay? And on the bottom it says the office of attorney is indispensable to the administration of justice and is intimate and peculiar in its relation to and vital to the well-being of the court. An attorney has a duty to aid the court in seeing that actions and proceedings in which he is engaged as counsel are conducted in a dignified and orderly manner, free from passion and personal animosities, and that all causes brought to an issue are tried and decided on their merits only to aid the court. To aid the court. You know, what is the legal relationship between an attorney and his or her client? Attorney and client, and the term is synonymous with attorney. Therefore, anyone advertising himself as a lawyer holds himself out to be an attorney at law, or counselor at law. Okay? If one appears before any court in the interest of another and moves the court to action with respect to any matter before it of a legal nature, such person appears as an advocate as that terms generally understood. The phrase as an advocate in a representative capacity as used in the statute regulating the practice of law implies a representation distinct from officer or other regular administrative corporate employee representation. All right. So an attorney, does anybody know what attorney, what's the etymology word of an attorney? It, believe it or not, is an actor. An attorney, to attorn, means to act. So what they're doing in court, in these de facto court systems, is they're acting. They're a bunch of actors acting in front of you. And their first duty is to the court. And who's the court under? The state. The court is under the state. And who's the state under? The crown. All right? So people have to understand that these bar attorneys, right? Because BAR stands for British Accredited Registry, which is connected to the crown in England. So their first duty is to the state and to the crown. They're actually favoring the crown, right? So that's the whole relationship between an attorney and his client. You know, like I said, I believe that everybody has the capacity to present themselves out there without these de facto blood-sucking attorneys. That's what I call them, de facto blood-sucking attorneys. And I believe that you know, we have the knowledge to know all of this stuff. You know, it just takes, you know, a matter of time of studying it a little bit, you know, and taking some notes, and you know, having the most faith in whatever you do out there with it. You know. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, this gonna be like, I guess, a little like out of pocket, but can any charges be dropped with the right amount of money?
For the right amount of money, can it be? Well, yes and no. I mean, let's look at the OJ Simpson case. I mean, that was to me a handout. I'm not gonna get too much deep into that case, but we obviously know that, OJ Simpson was at one time a very wealthy man, and a lot of these wealthy celebrities, they get away with a lot of murder. They pay their attorneys lucrative amount of money out there. If their attorneys say, "Oh, this is gonna cost you $100,000," they hit them off for like a couple $1,000,000, just to win the case. So, yeah, in a way it is.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I don't know if that answered your question.
It definitely did.
But yeah, this whole system is not what a lot of people think it is. It's really rigged up. It's everybody's in cahoots with one another in there, and a lot of people get paid off, left and right. There's a lot of favoritism in there too. you know, but you know, to me, whether you have the funds or not in this life, the sky's the limit into seeking any type of remedy, you know. Not saying that all the time things are going to be good, because you might have some pitfalls down the line, you know, but we learn from these pitfalls, you know, like, you know, we learn to get up and say, hey, okay, got knocked down by this case, you know, this lawyer is trying to rebut all my stuff, you know, but I just gotta hit him back hard with something to keep them quiet, you know. So you gotta rebut, you know, whatever they're gonna tell you, you know. You know, I had a lawyer send me a letter from his client on behalf of his client, because I went after him. I went after his client, you know, and long story short, it was you know, this doctor, this dentist, and which he violated my rights, and I served him a notice of intent, and then he got the notice of intent from me, right? He got the letter from me, and then he went to his lawyer and he showed it to his lawyer, and then his lawyer sent me a letter in the mail stating don't send anything to his client, any legal documents or any legal action that you're gonna take, please refer to me. Oh, okay. You want me to send you some documents? Okay, well, I sent him a couple of documents, and guess what? He never rebutted it. It's been already 2 months that I sent it to him, and he never sent me anything back. Oh, well, what happened there? Huh? You're supposed to rebut anything I send you. He never rebutted it. So therefore he acquiesced to it. And when people acquiesce to these documents, it stands. It stands in law. You know, is okay. Well, it's your turn to hit me with another punchline. And if I don't hear from you after 30 days, then hey, it's game over. It's game over. I checked you. Checkmate. Check me. You know, and it was crazy because some of the stuff that I sent them was like, okay, rebut point for point what I'm going to send you. And he never rebutted anything. So, and the reason why I know he got these documents is because, you know, of course, every time I send out these documents, I always send it with a return receipt back. You're supposed to get that green return receipt signed and everything by whoever received the document. And that's how I know that, yeah, whether he or somebody else received it, I still sent it out and they got it. So, yeah, you know, it's all a chess game, you know, when it comes to all this stuff, you know. So,
yeah, and I had to let you know the time is narrowing down, and we about to be at that time of closure actually, and I know you have a meeting.
yeah, I have to moderate the New York Committee of Safety meeting. I have my weekly members meeting every Sunday at 7:00 p.m. And yeah, I have to hop on in a few minutes and moderate.
Right. Yeah, so we're gonna close out, and we're gonna since this is becoming lengthy and this information is definitely needed, we're gonna do a follow-up episode for this. So with that said, we're gonna close out. Sweeky, does anybody have any last things to say before
We appreciate you. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to learning more with you, and we're honored that you're helping our generation learn this, because we need to learn together as a unit, and we'll put something together, you know, with Arties for Arties and Taneri, and we'll do something special for those who want to learn. We'll do like a pop-up or something, like all of us sharing this information. This is really necessary, because that's what we do anyway for the philanthropy group for Queens County du jour, New York du jour.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be definitely perfect, Squeaky. We should do something like that too as well. I was giving out classes before at this spot called WeWork I don't know if you know, but there's WeWorks all over the city. But it was getting a little bit too pricey to rent out the spots, so I kind of laid off from it for now. Plus, I got this other, job that I'm working with now during the weekdays, and I've been busy with that. But yeah, we could do some type of pop-up educative pop-up shop on this, and I'll have my whiteboard ready and go deep into it, because there's definitely more stuff that I got out there,
It's a lot. It's a lifetime.
Yeah,
of stuff,
I got a lot of
man.
stuff, we could talk about the Parents Patria doc of it, and some other stuff there on legal marriage, which will blow a lot of people's mind away when it comes to legal marriage.
Design.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Roy.
Next.